Hello, V-Team. Welcome to a special edition of Up to Speed. Today, we are joined by Christy to discuss the recent guidance from the CDC and what's coming up with Work Forward. Christy, always great to have you on the show. Let's dive right into it. A lot to cover. Starting first with the CDC, can you briefly share what was announced last week? Any immediate impacts to our safety protocols here in the U.S.?
Thanks, Andy, and great to be here with the V-Team talking to you all on Up to Speed. So last week, the CDC announced changes to its guidance on masks and physical distancing for people who are fully vaccinated against COVID-19. It is important to note that many states, municipalities, and local governments still require masks. That's why we have to take into account both the CDC's recommendations and what's happening at a local level. We realize this has raised some questions on how Verizon intends to handle the updated guidance from the CDC. That's why I wanted to join you today and discuss what's coming up.
All right, Christy, let's start in our stores. What can our retail team members expect in light of the updated guidance?
Great question, Andy. Let's start with our retail customers first. In states that do not require masks, fully vaccinated customers can choose whether they want to wear a mask. However, if a customer is not vaccinated, they must wear a mask. Now, for our V-Teamers, if you are fully vaccinated and have completed the 14-day waiting period, and you are located in a state that doesn't require a face covering, you could choose whether you want to wear a mask. If you are not fully vaccinated, you must continue to wear a face covering. Starting this Wednesday, we are updating our Return to Work tool. Employees will need to confirm and comply that they have reviewed our policy on mask wearing and vaccinations before entering one of our locations. To remind everyone, the Return to Work tool is mandatory for employees who need to access a Verizon work location, whether it's a store, an office, or other work site. Within the tool, you are required to self-certify every day that you are working outside of your home or location.
All right, so those are for our retail employees. What about the employees outside of retail? What changes, if any, can they expect right now?
So that's a great question. The process and protocols that I just detailed apply to all employees. So if you are fully vaccinated and have completed the 14-day waiting period and are located in a state that does not require a face covering, you could choose whether you want to wear a mask or not at work. However, if you are not vaccinated, you must continue to follow our policy and wear a face covering. At this time, there are no changes for employees outside of the United States.
And Christy, what about our FiOS customers?
So we are evaluating the timing of any potential changes to our approach for FiOS customers, but ultimately, we expect that we will manage it in a similar way to how we are managing our retail protocols for customers. So if our FiOS customers are fully vaccinated and located in a state that does not require mask coverings, they will not need a face covering. If the customer is not fully vaccinated, they still need to wear a face mask.
And a follow-up to that, if you are fully vaccinated, but the customer is requesting you put the mask on, the move there is put the mask on.
Yes, we would like our employees, if a customer has requested that they wear a mask in a FiOS customer situation, to do so.
Okay, so before we jump to our next topic here, what else do you want V-Teamers to know about the latest changes in our COVID response strategy?
Thanks, Andy. You know, one of the things is this is a really fluid situation. And so while there is some certainty and some hope on the horizon, COVID-19 is still with us. We continue to monitor the case rates globally, and we are encouraged by the downward trajectory of cases in the United States and the expanded distribution of vaccines. However, in countries like India and elsewhere in the world, we continue to see surges, and that's why we must remain vigilant and committed to the practices in place to keep all V-Teamers and our customers safe. As always, we will operate with complete transparency and keep you informed of any changes.
Switching gears now, Christy, not too far though, the latest on Work Forward, our plan to transform how, when, and where we work. I'm proud to be wearing the shirt and looking forward to what's next in Work Forward.
Yeah, this is a very exciting time. We have a big pilot going on with 3,000 V-Teamers, over 50 different director teams. We've gotten a lot of great feedback from those teams, and we continue to learn from them how we can enhance our future of work transformation. Our plans are that starting July 1st, we're going to reopen administrative offices, and we'll work with the employees that are going to be on hybrid schedules to identify waves of returning to work throughout the third quarter. This is still a work in progress, so as we learn more over the next few weeks in the pilot, we plan to start communicating with teams throughout the month of June.
Yeah, and it's been great, being a part of the pilot and really giving my feedback and really kind of getting it back in real time. It's awesome. So for our international employees, what are some messages for them?
So on the international front, we don't have international teams directly in the Work Forward pilot, but we have teams internationally that we're communicating with, and we intend to do Work Forward pilots starting in the third quarter. And we intend to have all of our global locations transformed to their Work Forward construct by the fall.
And I think that means we are one step closer to seeing our V-Team BFFs. Christy, I know we covered a lot here. I want to thank you for all your information, the latest details. Any final thoughts before we close it out?
Well, Andy, I think this is just, so amazing what the V-Team has gotten done throughout this entire period of time. And as we think about how we transition to Work Forward, we know that this would not be the flip of a light switch, but we are really encouraged by the progress that society is making in the fight against COVID-19, and also all of the insights and feedback we're getting from our pilot teams and our V-Teamers on the front line for how we sprint forward and bring Work Forward to life.
It is an exciting time, and from day one, Christy, you and your team have led us with compassion and with guidance, and we thank you for that, and thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks, Andy, for having me here.
All right, more updates coming up. Thanks so much for watching Up to Speed. Until next time, you're up to speed.